how are we going to do this. Quickly, but not too much in a rush, I will now go through the 4 tactical elements of Wednesday. The first one is that thousands and thousands and thousands of activists using the tools of confrontational but non-violent civil disobedience will enter the conference area. Right? That means all of us need to be prepared. We need to be organized in affinity groups. We need to have an idea what's going on, because we are not just going to try to get into the conference area. We will get into the conference area. Secondly, we're going to disrupt the summit sessions on the inside. Now, this is a little controversial. You know, again, it's the UN thing, not the WTO, but basically, if we want to set a different agenda and they continue talking on the inside, then we're just a sideshow. But on Wednesday, we're not going to be a sideshow. On Wednesday, we are going to be the show. That's... Third element, we're going to organize a mass walkout from the summit. Now, we're still working on that, so I'm not going to go into too much detail, but basically there'll be loads of people coming out from the summit, joining those who are coming into the conference area. And the fourth element is that right there, right outside that awful, awful Bella Center, we're going to hold a People's Climate Justice Assembly where all the different parts of the movement, the direct action movements, the scientists, the NGOs, the critical NGOs, the mass movements from the global south, and some of the really quite radical government delegations, because, you know, if you're one of those small island states, by force, you have kind of a radical policy agenda on this question, isn't it? Where we're all going to come together, recognize the common grounds that we have as global movements struggling for climate justice. So basically, this assembly is there for us to recognize the common ground that we struggle on. Because only when we get out of our own activism and politics as usual that we can kick off a new social movement. So in my head I have this image of a 20-year-old Danish autonomous guy talking to a government negotiator from Venezuela, exactly, that was what I was going to say. Talking to a scientist from the US, talking to somebody from a Filipino farmers movement, and then saying, okay, how can we really fight for climate justice in the coming years? Because Wednesday is not going to be the end of a movement, it's going to be the starting point. On Wednesday, there will be no mass arrests. We won't end up in those fucked up cages. On Wednesday, we're going to change the world. On Wednesday, we're going to make history. On Wednesday, we're going to begin to reclaim our power.